What is that which you are searching for? There is no sense of personality at all when you become the Isvara, principle. Have no concern about losing your personality by listening to this knowledge, as personality has always been illusory. In order to even understand me, the sense of personality must be absent. You are the knowledge, and you don't have any shape or form whatsoever. You are impersonal. You are comprehensive. You are the unmanifest, the universal consciousness. What would happen if you went in search of that consciousness? The seeker would disappear in the search, because the I amness is all there is. I have a question here. Do not focus on your question. Focus on what I am saying. Don't say anything. Just listen. I am able to appreciate listening to you, therefore I am speaking. Just leave the question. Be strong. You speak very harshly. It hurts me. Just leave that. Do not even look in that direction. Just focus on what I am telling you. There was a split between what was there before the question and what came after. Look at what was there before the question came up. Do not speak about what came after the question. But I do not know who I am. That is my reality. As long as you are coming here, your search is not over. You are here because the search has not ended. Try to find out why. What is that which you are searching for? There is nothing there, only the process of seeking. You might be anybody in this world, even Brahma or Vishnu, but you do not have the power to do anything. Your life is your existence. It is made up of the 5 elements, and it is dependent on only these 5 elements. Consciousness is an orphan without parents or source. It has no need of anyone. What you understand of the objective world is all duality. Your objective world is composed of relationships. You have to depend all the time on someone else, friend, husband, wife, etc. In the objective world there is only dependence, whereas in your true state there is always independence. Existence without identity, which is your true nature, is independent. The time is 11:30 at present. It cannot be 12 now. It will be 12 half an hour later. We don't have any control over it. The time has to pass. That means you are always dependent on something. You cannot live independently of time, space, or the elements. Everyone is helpless. Only consciousness is independent. The state of bliss or joy is Purna Brahma or Nirvana. One who does not need anybody for entertainment is Niranjan. The ever-present is Nitya. That state never changes at all. As long as you are conscious of your body and its needs, you cannot be totally independent. Consciousness does not need light, and it does not need darkness. It does not need rest. It is the truth, and there is no change in it. When I was young, I had the power to squeeze a piece of metal and pull it back into shape. Now I am old and require help from somebody to move around. Where has the power gone? It has not remained with me at all. All of these things in the objective world are inseparable from their attributes. An attribute by its very nature depends upon something. That knowledge, I am, is also an attribute. Therefore, the I amness, one way or another, also has to depend on something. What is the concept of Maya, illusion? The concept of Maya comes from the I amness. The existence of Maya and the world around you only arises when you are conscious of yourself. This is a state of darkness and ignorance, which is far from that of knowledge. Maya does not exist within the state of knowledge. What is Atma Prem, self-love? Atma Prem is also due to the I amness. If you start with Atma Prem, it can distract you and all you will see is Maya, which is a state of ignorance. If you reach a state of knowledge, then even this Atma Prem will be non-existent. The word Maya has a different meaning here. What you are calling love is itself Maya. Love is playing many roles. All these houses, etc., have been created out of Maya. Love or Maya, has set up the whole of Bombay. Love is taking many shapes. Mula Maya has created Vishnu and Shankara. But what was there before that? Maya is the culprit. Man has entangled himself in this concept and illusion of love, and because of it gets trapped in the cycle of life and death. The feeling of love is a great mistake if one gets entangled in it. There is love for so many things. The minute the illusion is created, the entanglement begins. By imagining male and female, you got entangled in that illusion. You're Paramatman. That is what my guru told me when he was going into Mahasamadhi. His words had so much force that they were implanted and embedded in me, and I became that. There was so much power and force behind his utterances that whatever he said came true. Were you constantly doing the sacred mantra which your guru had given you? I was not doing it. I was constantly listening to it. The power of the mantra depends on the intensity of the faith you have. Is there any cause for this faith? Yes, there is a primary cause, the big cause, which is the knowledge I am. This is the cause behind the faith. The awareness of my being happened automatically. It just happens. The sprouting of this knowledge I am is prior to the formation of the 5 elements. The ultimate consciousness, the Absolute, is not even aware of itself or of any happening. Consciousness was one, but 2 people of different sexes were created, and the love between them created this world. This sound and this awareness are not one, but 2. Consciousness is just a speck, and this illusion has come out of it. Love is divided into 2 sexes, and the world has grown out of this. But as soon as realization happens, this separation disappears. When you have the realization that you are, that all is the play of Shiva Shakti, then you will know that this is all an illusion, and you will be free of grief as well as joy. Self-realization is Shivadatta. The moment you reach that stage, you will not have these feelings of happiness, sorrow, and suffering. When you reach the state of self-knowledge, there will be peace and quiet. Such knowledge of self is known as Shivadatta. If you realize that this is all an illusion, then there is no need for self-realization. Is there no love with self-realization? It is beyond that. Love is a worldly state. The very feeling of self-realization will not arrive until you understand what you are. If you understand the answer, then this question about self-realization will not arise. Ananda, the pleasure and bliss of consciousness, it will arise in you like an atomic explosion, and you will see how the whole wide world is a manifestation of that. Chinmayananda means speck of bliss. Swami means the spontaneous awareness of my being. Through the I amness, Swami Chinmayananda has created a big ashram that many people visit. All the gods are coming and going in this consciousness. Merely the fact that you are is Swami, which is pure honey, the proof of the Absolute. It is always with you and has come all by itself spontaneously without asking. That is Swami. And all the other things, what is all that about? Why worry about that? Let it be there. Worry about the I amness and forget about the rest. What the Swamis are doing or what they say is immaterial. If you have come to the source, why do you want to go back again to the banks of the river? It appears spontaneously, like a bolt of lightning. The illusion of self-love is broken into 5 basic elements: space, air, earth, fire, and water. But this self-love, the I am, manifests as sattva guna to the one who accepts this as a natural process. When it is used for achieving something in the world, it is referred to as rajas guna. When it is used to take credit for achievements, it is referred to as tamas guna. All the elements merge into one. And through the earth they create the grass and the grain. Grass is the fodder for animals that give us milk. Grain is the food of human beings, in which the subtlest principle is already embedded. When it is assimilated in the body, it becomes the food body. This food body is formed out of the milk and the grains that we eat. When the vital force is there, the I amness appears. I amness is the sattva quality, which is from the word sat, to be. The I amness which appears in a fraction of a second is due to the food body. When an individual soul, jiva, is born, it becomes aware of its parents and then becomes aware of its pasture, grazing ground and food. Shapes are formed according to their parent forms. A human being gives birth to a human being. Animals give birth to animals, and snakes and worms are created from the lowest forms of life. Four-legged creatures and human beings are created from a higher life force. Self-love is unique to human beings. Everything is created from the seed. When the parent form is mature, the seed is formed and the photo or form of the parent is stamped in the seed. Each seed creates an individual that is different from the others. The seed of one member of a family is quite different from that of his brother. The photograph in the seed is taken in a fraction of a second, and the new creation is born according to the traditional form. Some species, like goats, are born after 3 months. Human beings are born after 9 months. All living beings, as well as every shape and form, are created from the merging of the 5 elements with the essence of the earth. There are 4 ways in which creation takes place. That which is created from the air, like bacteria and various insects, is referred to as udvaja. That which is born from water and the sweat of the body, like worms, etc., is referred to as svedaja. That which is born from eggs, like snakes, fish, and birds, is referred to as undeja. Animals and human beings which have their own ways of procreating are born from the earth element. This is referred to as jaraja. Along with the 5 elements, a quality of the universe that is called destiny or prarabdha also comes into the formation. The process of birth does not arise through any deliberate action. It happens spontaneously. All actions are predetermined. With so much mixing going on now, I predict that all races will eventually blend together. Caste and creed will become meaningless, and it will be impossible to identify a pure Indian or a pure European. The entire pattern of the human race will change. The divisions into Hindu, Muslim, or Christian will cease to exist. Male and female will be the only remaining categories. As long as the identification with the body and the ego remains, you cannot be free. You will still just be following the same conventional pattern of behavior as the rest of the world. But what is the genuine behavior of your true Dharma? With what identity are you asking me these questions? Your knowledge is the product of your perceived identity. But what knowledge do you have of your real identity? First understand that before asking any further questions. What is it that you want most? What is it that you are running after? You love your body and crave the things that give it pleasure. You feel egotistical pride for your achievements. But once you have found your real identity, that which you are, you will be stabilized in that awareness. You will be free of greed, attachment, and pride. The thing which attracts you most of all is your I amness. You want to retain that I amness. You want to be. This I am is what you truly love the most. You want to be alive. So does the real freedom lie in being able to find out who you are? When you discover that self which has no color, image, or design, you will no longer require freedom or be conditioned by freedom. You will be beyond freedom. What is yoga? Yoga is uniting 2 things joining together. That is yoga. The whole population is a result of yoga. One party mixing or joining together with the other produces offspring with the identity of both. Why do you seek yoga? Yoga means the bridge, the link, or the connection. Why are you seeking this connection? You have to find out why it has occurred. Yoga was not required prior to the appearance of the bridge. You must find out what your state was prior to the bridge. Whatever the principle or state was before this linking, before the existence of the bridge, was the perfect state. Because the bridge has appeared, you feel separated from your true self, and you are trying to become reunited. That is yoga. Because of this, you have become the servant of your desires. The method that the yogis practice is breath control. By controlling their breath, they are able to enter a state of samadhi. Because their desires have been suppressed for a time, they presume that they have attained self-realization. Before meeting my guru, I had a liking for these things. Once a great yogi came to visit. After controlling his breath, he'd allow a car or even a truck to run over him. This was the miraculous power that he could exhibit. But that was the scope of his yogic studies. Control the breath, perform miracles, and exhibit them. Those people who go into samadhi by holding their breath have only learned a skill. They do not have the knowledge, and they have not transcended the knowledge. With the acrobatics of breath, they may temporarily achieve certain powers. But that is not real union with the source. Knowledge of the self, jnana, is required. They have not achieved ultimate unity with the Absolute. Awareness of presence. The meditation of focusing on the breath is known as Pranayama. Doing Pranayama gives you peace. However, the witness is not the vital breath, prana, but the one who is watching without participating. It does not come from anywhere. It is always there. It is not fair or dark, and it is not square, round, or of any shape. You can call the one who is watching Krishna, Christ, or Rama. It is pure love. This witness is each one's proof of his being. This is the knowing. What is this vital breath? When it is within you, in the body, it is called prana. When you meditate on the breath and when it is released, it merges with the atmosphere and becomes one with the universe. For this mode of worship, you do not need any other materials, like food or flowers. When you control your breath through pranayama, a state of bliss, samadhi, can be reached, where there is no mind and therefore no desire. However, this state of bliss and happiness can only last as long as you maintain control of your breath. Soon you will descend again to the gross state. It is only when this joy is beyond the senses that it merges with the universe. It is as pure as the sky, and like the sky, it is infinite. But who gives it light? That love, that knowledge which gives it light is the knowledge I am. Focus on your beingness until you become established in it. Only then will you be able to transcend it. Your focus at present is only on air or the breath. Be that beingness, though this is also not the final step. It does not matter what that experience is if you are aware of the witness, am I correct? Who is the witness of this joy? Who is aware of this joy? Be that I am. Once you know who you are, remain stabilized in the experience of the self. Be like Arjuna. Awareness of his being remained with him constantly, even when he went into the thick of battle. Because he was one with Krishna, he could go into battle knowing that there is nobody who kills and no one who is killed. There are so many difficult situations in spiritual practice, like doing my sacred rituals or controlling the breath. What do? You don't do anything. First, you must take a vow or an oath that you are not a man. How can I say that? Why can't you? You can take an oath that you are not a human being. The knowledge that is prior to thought I am is covered by a human body, which is lined with the vital breath and the knowledge of the self, prana and jnana. This means that you are only covered with the human body. Once you reach this state of I am through your attention, you will only be aware of that, and you will no longer be affected by all of these tendencies, vasanas. You will have transcended them. Let your questions emanate from what you have just heard. not from books or scriptures that you have read previously. I only want some clarification about the knowledge of I am. You have to be one with the self, the I am. If you say knowledge, it is just the same as information. If necessary, discard the words I am. Even without the words, you know that you are. Do not say or even think that you are. Just be aware of the presence without thinking about it. How do you know that you have reached the state of witnessing? Who says that he is alive? Find out who is the witness who knows that he is alive. This is awareness of one's existence. I am prior to thought. Who says I am alive? Who says I am not alive? What is that? I am is not something that can be put into words. It is the knowledge, the awareness before thought. You have to just be. In me at times there is a continuous feeling, not thoughts, which I feel is I. All the religions of the world are based upon feeling and tradition. You can recite your mantra in whatever way you like. It is not going to make any difference because, as I have already told you, becoming stabilized in the awareness I am is all that is important. Later on, you will also transcend the I amness. What I am saying now is being recorded on a tape, but will I actually be talking when it is played back? No, it is only a chemical that was created by a human being. Similarly, there is a photograph of my guru on the wall. Is it the real guru? No. Man makes the picture with the chemical. In the same way, this human being created by God is also just a chemical, and you should be aware of that. Just as a storm is a form created by nature, similarly, this I am, this chemical, was also created. Forget about what I have told you, because that is also a mechanical thing, a chemical. Just be aware, and then it won't matter if you die 100 times. A dream world of which you are the source. Words are very powerful. If a man is told that he will die after 3 days, he is likely to believe it and will be concerned. Are you affected by the words being spoken to you now? Words can affect you and then disappear. A sage is not concerned whether his body is going to die or not. Correct, but these are just parables. You told us about the I. I want to know who created the I am. A child knows who created it. The parents are the creator of the child. But the child does not know the birth of the parents. These are all concepts. The child has been given an idea who its parents are, but it is just a concept. Similarly, the I am is just a concept. The child has also been given the idea that he is. First, you must investigate who is and what this I amness is. You talked about the I am. You construct an understanding that this I am has to have a support. You want to know what the support is for the I am. My parents supported me. When do these two people, the husband and the wife, become parents? It is when a child is born. Is that not true? Where are the parents before the birth of the child? And what is that child? The child is the root of the parents. The child is also the father of the parents. Because of the child, the parents are. This shows how completely hollow our egos are. What is the use of this beingness when it is the beingness that has determined all this play? Awareness is the absolute, but who is the witness of the absolute? The ego is like the child of a barren woman. I am an uneducated person, yet people from all over the world come and visit me. What does this due to? It is because I have become a zero, a nothingness. This knowledge has come spontaneously. Out of nothing, something is. And in that isness or beingness, there are innumerable universes. But even this beingness is discardable. You say that your consciousness has created this world. Does this mean that other people's consciousness will create different worlds? Yes, Each person will create his own world or a different concept of the world. In your dream world, there are so many people. Do the people in your dream world recognize that their world is born out of your consciousness? So what type of great God can be born out of your consciousness? Yet people pray to that consciousness. Don't discuss what I have told you with all and sundry, and don't expose it, or you will be beaten with the pressure. This knowledge or understanding is only to be understood or observed. There is a couplet from Saint Tukaram. To begin, there is only one seed which sprouts and grows into a sapling, and then into a big tree. This tree will create many seeds, which in turn will give birth to innumerable trees. My I has created my world, and when I converse with other people, I will talk to them about my world. Yes, but does the other person know that you are talking to them about your universe? I do not know. If you do not know, why are you asking the question? Take the example of a berry. One berry ripens, then falls and creates a new tree, which will bear many berries. These seeds will create a huge jungle. All of this is created from a single seed. All of them had a single origin. This is all a dream world of which you are the source. If you do not exist, then the manifestation of the world will not be there for you. Do you realize that you have created your world? I will try to understand. There is no question of effort here. It has to be understood spontaneously. What is the role I should play in this world? Amongst all these millions of people, you are inquiring about your part in this world. What is the percentage of your contribution? By yourself, you may be big, but in this crowd, you are nobody. What is my share in all this? Go to Goenka's ashram, meditate a little more, and then maybe you will understand. I am only telling you my story, not that of Brahma. Brahma means illusion. Just like when deer run after a mirage in the hot sun. It is an illusion. The water is not really there. Similarly, you are running after illusions, thinking that something good will come out of it and that you will be blessed. But it is not true. This body is formed from food, annamaya, and is perishable. If the food body were not there, the world also would not be there. Once the vital breath leaves the body, and this I amness ceases to exist, the I amness will not know that it was. The I amness is not permanent, and will forget its association with this body. Just as food is perishable, the body that is built from the nourishment of food is also perishable, and is not permanent. If you have questions, ask the one who wants to know. Cling to the questioner. That is your own beingness or I amness. Once you've done that, people will also approach you. They will call you Mahatma or Anandamayi. After this talk, will you remember at least one sentence of it clearly? When you're hungry and eat a meal, is it the first morsel or the last that satisfies you? I want you to answer this. This is the essence of all knowledge. The words of the Guru are truth itself. When my Guru went into a state of bliss, he told me, "Have faith in me and in my words. Whatever I am telling you is the truth. You are the highest truth. Have implicit faith in that and conduct yourself accordingly." There was a sage who was very temperamental, who got upset very easily. He used to curse with so much force and emphasis that whatever he said would take a concrete shape and happen. My Guru told me, "Divinity, Paramatma, is what you are." I heard it in the satsang. Sat, true or wise, sang, association, of my Guru, and I accepted it. I did not want to gain anything. I just accepted it. I never knew that I existed, and suddenly I was aware that I am this absolute truth. I had complete faith in the words of my Guru, and then later on everything happened spontaneously. There was continuous transformation, and I was astounded at what was happening in me. That was the strength of the words of my guru. The words of the guru are truth itself. Were you constantly repeating the words which your guru gave you? I was always listening to that sacred recitation, japa, which was constantly happening inside me. Is there any cause for this japa? The primary cause is the knowledge that you have of I am. What do you mean by knowledge? This knowledge of I am spontaneously appeared. This knowledge of I am is prior to the formation of the 5 elements. The Absolute, Paramatma, Parmeshwar, is not aware of anything. The state of awareness comes later, with the knowledge of the I am. A man may be well when he goes to sleep, but when he awakes in the morning, he suddenly feels giddy and falls down. He discovers that his whole body is swollen, but he does not know the cause of his illness. Only when all the tests are done does he know the cause of his illness. Similarly, the Absolute had no knowledge that it was, or that it is. Only when the knowledge I am spontaneously appeared could it be concluded that the Absolute was or is. It is only when the body-mind consciousness comes into existence with the power of the 5 elements that the awareness arises. I was told by my guru that this very principle, that does not know that it is myself. That is what was conveyed to me. It is from this standpoint that I am talking to you. When I was young, I used to ponder about many things. Before I met my guru, I used to think there was no such thing as spirituality. I took a vow that I would never get initiated or surrender to another person. One day a friend told me that a great sage was visiting the area and asked me to come along with him to meet the sage. I did not want to go, but my friend encouraged me, so I went with him. My friend bought a garland and some sweets for the sage and suggested that I put on a nice suit for the visit. When I met the guru, he asked me to close my eyes, and he initiated me. After some time, the guru asked me to open my eyes. It was as if I had exploded. From that moment on, I was a different person. In 1932, I purchased 2 books on philosophy that had been recommended by a friend. I tried to read them at the time but could not understand any of it, so I wrapped up the books and put them aside. My guru initiated me in 1934. Within 2 months of the initiation, that same friend took me to his village and suggested that we discuss those books on philosophy. I expounded the books spontaneously, which were to me at this stage like kindergarten information. How did you acquire this ability? This is like asking me how I acquired this human form without my knowledge. It just happened. I had no hand in it. People might praise me or run me down, but I was doing it without being aware of it, effortlessly and naturally. I had never studied the scriptures, yet the knowledge just came to me. It is said that there have been so many dissolutions of the universe, but how is it that I am untouched by it? Actually, I have always been there. Only this present-day form, body, may not have been there. Even the dissolution of the universe has not touched this I. This body has a shape, but I, as consciousness, do not have any shape. When you become habituated to carrying something with you, it gets attached to you and you become one with it. If you eat a particular poison grain by grain, you will become immune to it. Then even a snake won't be able to harm you. Similarly, saying, I am Brahma, will transform you into Brahma until even birth and death cannot affect you. Try to understand everything from this point of view. If you get into the habit of thinking in this way, it will become a part of you. You people do not have a firm belief in anyone or anything. You move from place to place, from guru to guru. You do not gain anything from this entertainment of going to so many gurus and assimilating everyone's point of view. By trying to learn too much from too many, you remain at zero and stay where you are. I do not tell you to do any penance or hard spiritual practice, sadhana. At the most I may tell you to chant the name of God, Brahma Japa. Keep the vital breath busy with this chanting. Allot this work of repeating the name of God to your vital breath. And then just stand back and watch. Just as you allot work to your cook, and then watch him cooking. Keep the vital breath continuously busy with the recitation. You will then begin to hear this recitation throughout your body. You should have an intense desire to seek the truth. Only then will the results be quick. The outcome of japa will be according to the strength of your conviction and the extent of your faith. My guru did a lot of penance and long spiritual practice before he got his knowledge. But without my having had to do any penance or spiritual practice, he bestowed this knowledge upon me. I am not dependent upon this world or this universe. This world and this universe depend upon me. How do you recognize me? What identity do you allot to me, and how do you judge me? With what identity do you judge yourselves? You entertain the idea that you are going to have different births. I don't believe in any such stories. I know I never was. That I amness was never there for me. I am the unborn state. I am listening very closely. Will this intensity deepen my understanding? You are already spontaneous, so why talk about what doesn't exist at all? It is all an illusion. Whenever great scholars or sages visit me, I don't prepare myself for the discussion with them. I say whatever comes to me. Ultimately, I know that even these words are like the children of a barren woman. Do we show our ignorance by asking questions to liven the discussion? What is knowledge? Knowledge takes birth only in ignorance, and ignorance is the parent of knowledge. Everything is conceptual. What is the meaning of I am, the basic illusion? It means pure, even though you have to provide food for it. A yogi had been studying the art of reviving objects after death. One day, he saw a bone in the forest and decided to practice his art to see how effective it was. He chanted a mantra, and suddenly a lion appeared. He did not, however, create any food for the lion, and so, when the lion was hungry, he ate the yogi. The moral of this story is that before you create anything, you have to first create food. The I am is sustained by the food body. That is our body, which is the food for the I am. Every creature depends upon its food, and the I am depends upon our body. Will you remember this? When you recite the mantra relating to a particular god, that particular quality and consciousness is created within you. Rama, Krishna, Brahma, Shiva are only the incarnations of your consciousness. The same consciousness that you are is also what these gods, which have been created with various names from your consciousness, are. There is a statue of Nityananda in his ashram. Muktananda says that Nityananda is still alive and that he communicates with him. What do you say about that? I also have many photographs of my guru here, because my guru is, I know I am. You presume that your guru, Nityananda, is a body-mind, and that is a mistake. I do not look upon my guru like that. He is merged into consciousness, and I see him as that. So long as the body is there, consciousness and memory are there. Once the body is gone, the consciousness is unaware of anything. When the oil is there, the flame keeps burning by using the oil, but no oil is used after the flame is gone. Whatever is burnt, and whatever remains, remains. When the child is born, growth takes place. The I am is there throughout his or her life, even if a person lives for 100 years. But the I am disappears when the body is gone. This is called death. I would like to know your opinion about what I have told you. Should I tell you all of this, or should I keep quiet? Somebody came this morning who kept quoting his guru, so I sent him back to his guru. By listening to me, seriously, people could lose all hope and ambition. Because they want to take action in the world, hope should be there for them. If they feel that they are not gaining anything here, they should go away. Why should I talk to these people who want to live and achieve something? Nityananda hardly ever talked, but his disciple, Muktananda, goes on talking and has created an empire. Chinmayananda has done the same thing, although now he says he wants to stop talking and go away to the Himalayas. All my expounding will only lead people to a state of inaction, so why should I talk? Anyway, whatever you have heard here can never be erased and will have its effect. I want to develop my determination to be in the I Am. Did you have any consciousness when you did not have your body? You may have as much faith as you want, but even that will be gone when the body is no more, as your consciousness will not be there. Where are you without your consciousness? There is nothing for you to do. Everything just comes into being and happens. Why are you concerned with what to do? You deal with the world only after having consciousness, when the I Am is there. Once it is gone, everything ends. It is all spontaneous. Every nation has had different rulers ruling the country at different times who are now dead and gone. Do they come back and ask how the country is being ruled now? Does Christ come back and ask why you go to India to listen to all of this trash? By presuming to be on one side, you take up cudgels against different faiths and spill blood in the name of religion. Our Hindu deities are supposed to be very powerful. But did they do anything when Muslim and Christian invaders came to rule over India? We all had parents. Where are they once they have died? You just say they have gone home to God, but are they here now? Do they come and interfere in our daily lives? We go on looking for a guru to guide us. What did Ramakrishna say to Vivekananda? He just said, take the ripe mango and enjoy it. Don't keep questioning where the mango has come from, etc. The worry about death does not affect me at all. Why are you worried about reincarnation? Just experience whatever is happening to you now. I was asked why I previously told some people that many births are needed before realization can happen. I have to tell such stories to ignorant people. When a person describes a memory of his last birth, I ask him whether he remembers who his parents were, animals or human beings. You're only talking about your dream. At the present you can say who your parents are, but do you know who they were during your last birth? If you cannot remember anything, then just say it is all over and finished. It is just a dream. Forget about it. What others say about how rebirth is determined by the thoughts you have when you are dying is mere hearsay. What I am telling you about the merging of the I Am with the Source is the real thing. This world has existed for millions of years. Male and female, Purusha and Prakriti, have created so many dynasties. From which background have you come to this present form? Did you come from your father's father or your mother's mother? From the time of the first couple ever created, which birth is this? Can you go back and find out? Why carry that tension around with you when you cannot really know or remember any of it? Don't bother about it. As you progress and get established in beingness, you will understand that you are above the dreaming and waking states, as these only pertain to your I Amness. We are only able to observe because of this I Amness. When the I Amness is not there, the tool required to observe is also not there. Once there is self-realization, the whole riddle is solved. What Krishna preaches in the Gita is correct. What I am saying is of no profit or loss. Even a blind person can describe a huge well. How does he know? It is just a way of expressing his thoughts. As life flows, go on doing what has to be done. However much you run around without God's will, there is nothing. Whether it is your dreams or your visions, whatever you see is nothing but God's appearance. It is the source or consciousness which is appearing in so many forms. Everything is conceptual. Identify with the body, suffer with the body. While the knowledge is getting established, you will be in a sleep-like state. Even witnessing won't be there. You will feel as if you are asleep, but it is not sleep. It is called udmani, which means above the level of the mind. The yogis and sages are in that state above the mind. It is a state that transcends the mind. When I talk, I am talking from the udmani state, from nothingness. It is a restful and relaxed state. Is it a state of deep sleep? Although it feels similar to sleep, it is not sleep because there is awareness or consciousness deep inside. You will not have this experience unless you are stabilized in peace and stillness. When I am reading, sometimes there is an identity and I see myself reading. Is that different from the state you compared it with? While dreaming, you observe the dream, don't you? At that time, the whole dream world is in front of you. You simultaneously watch what is happening while also taking part in the dream as one of the characters, one of the actors. But here, you are purely a witness. You are not acting but are merely a witness, whereas there you also participate in the dream. Some gurus give disciplines which only engage the mental aspect and activity. They get their disciples involved in the play of the mind by referring to the concepts that appeal to them. They concretize their preferred concepts in the form of activities for their disciples. Leave all that alone. There is no question of effort and no question of elevating oneself to a higher level. Where will this spark or flame go? Where will my vital breath or prana go? There is no question of it going anywhere. You only have to be aware as the witness, and you will merge with the 5 elements. If you identify with the body-mind, you will have to undergo all of its suffering and misery while facing its effects. If you identify with the body, you will suffer with the body. A swimmer, when caught in a whirlpool, has to go down deep beneath the whirlpool, then swim beyond its diameter before coming up to the surface. If the swimmer struggles, he will become exhausted and will be finished. Similarly, with this whirlpool of the body-mind, before you become panicky, dive down underneath. Do not get entangled with the body-mind. Go deep beyond the thoughts and come into the thoughtless state. I tell you to ask me questions because I want to find out the depth of your understanding. The questions are of the mind, but you are not the mind. First, there was the desire to be. From this I am, the air came first and the earth last. Then from the earth came the vegetation and the many forms of life, each having this I amness. Because of the 5 elements, you have a body, and in that body is the I amness. What you call death is when the vital breath goes back into the air and the body merges into the 5 elements. When the vital breath separates from the body, the I amness disappears. If you come to me as a man, you may get something for your livelihood, but that will be your only gift. However, if you come to me understanding that you are God, that knowledge will manifest. For example, if there is a vacancy in an office offering a salary of 10,000 rupees a month, only a suitable man will get the job, as an unqualified man would not be able to last. Similarly, only people who consider themselves as Brahman can get that knowledge. Other people who identify with the body consciousness are not fit for it. You must have maturity, and you must be worthy of the knowledge that you want to gain. By chanting, I am Brahman, you become subtle and escape this sense of body-mind. If you go to other so-called gurus, they will tell you something relating to your body-mind sense, and tell you that if you follow certain disciplines, they might grant you something, but you will not be able to attain that Brahmahood. You must first accept that you are without a body-mind and that you are subtle. That sense must be instilled in you. I look to this Brahma state, my beingness, I amness, and observe my body, like an incense stick with a spark on it. That chemical or sear is here in this incense stick. It is being burned by that spark. You must become initiated into the understanding of what I am expounding to you. I am telling you about the seed of Brahman. You have to understand that I am planting the Brahma seed in you. That Brahma seed is your beingness, I amness, which sprouts into manifestation. That Brahma state does not require anything to eat. It has no hunger, because Brahma alone embraces everything and all manifestation is Brahma. I am trying to raise you to that state. Do not think you can become a realized soul only by listening to a few lectures here. You have to forget everything and merge with Brahman. What is the difference between worldly knowledge and knowledge about Brahman? You will not realize it unless the difference within you goes. If you think you are a body, you cannot gain this knowledge. Who wants to know about Brahman? Find that out first and then change the identity of I from body consciousness to I am one with Brahman. Focus on that Brahman instead of on the body-mind. You must understand yourself correctly. You think that I am a man, and being a man means being conditioned by body and mind. How can you understand the Brahma state from this standpoint? Does this mean that Brahma knowledge merely comes from the fact that I am? Who is it that needs to understand this the most, the knowledge that I am? If you listen carefully and imbibe the principles, you will get rid of this body-mind sense and dwell only in the I amness, beingness. I am the love of beingness, and beingness itself is love. The I amness precludes the aspect of I am not, doesn't it? You want to know the link, the bridge between I am and I am not. Is that it? First of all, only hold on to the I amness without any words and just be. When somebody hails you, you respond. But before you do so, there is somebody within you who becomes aware of the call and the need to answer. That being is the I am, and he has been there even before that awareness appeared. Does the flash of light come from beingness, I am? The moment the I amness explodes or appears, all of space is lit up. The entire sky is the expression of your beingness. Even though this whole world is an expression of your beingness, you believe that you are only the body. Your love for the body limits your horizons. But the moment those walls come down, you are one with Brahman and the whole universe. The illusion appears true because of attachment to the body. Maharaj, I have the feeling that I was killed by you last night. If you know this, then where else will you go to look for different holy men, sadhus, and further knowledge? Maybe you will feel very proud after getting this knowledge and grow a beard, put on some garlands and beads, and sit with a posture. Rajneesh has understood this principle because he knows that there is nothing in any of this. He makes a big show and makes people dance around him. Where have you come from? We have come from France. What is the tangible principle that you have, and can your mind point out the vital breath? Can you hold the vital breath with your mind? How can I transform the intellectual understanding into inside awareness? Can you describe your color or body form? Be one with the knowledge. You are already complete. What is it that you want to assimilate? Maybe there is nothing to assimilate. Maybe when one gets established in the I am, it is all clear. When you mix sugar with water, you can say that you have some sweet water. But is there any difference when you mix water with water? Only water can be completely one with water. When you describe Purusha as the male force and Prakriti as the female force, it seems you are giving it some shape and form. What is the difference between nature and man? can you differentiate between man and woman without referring to the body form? How can I? Show me the difference between the name of a god and my name. There is no difference. Yet you are still convinced that you are going to die. I am not too convinced about that anymore. Is a reply acceptable to all of you? No. Are you stupid? She only came here yesterday, but you have been coming here for the past 2 years. In what way do you disagree with her reply? I cannot say I agree or disagree because it is her experience. You are not worthy of this knowledge. You have listened to me for 2 years, and yet today I still had to convince you that there is no body. What you think is the body is only the food body. After the body dies, if nothing is done about it, the worms will eat it. The body is the food, that is the body. The body will die, but you are not the body, so you are not going to die. So where is the doubt? You don't have any birth, so you don't have any death. If the lady who has attended these talks for 2 days is convinced, while you remain unconvinced after 2 years, what have you learned? I am beyond death. When you awake within the dream, Maya and nature no longer exist. The illusion appears because of attachment to the body, but once the vital breath leaves the body ceases to exist and the identity is gone. Last night I awoke from my sleep feeling that everything is nonsense and it is all an illusion. This whole thing is based on illusion. How can it be real? It is this unreality that looks real because of the body form. Once this body is gone and cremated, the illusion will be gone. That reality which you pick out from the unreal cannot be lasting, because its very foundation is unreal. This entire universe is myself. All this is yourself. But when will you eat? As long as you are bound by a body that feels hunger, you cannot be one with the universe. What difference does this make? How old are you? 46 years old. Give me some piece of information about yourself 2 days prior to your 46 years. If you cannot remember that, how can you swallow all of this knowledge? Your consciousness cannot swallow this big tree, which grew from a small seed. There is no space required for the dream world. It has its existence solely in the knowledge of beingness. Similarly, all of this illusion and knowledge has existence only through our being conscious of it. Your birthday and birth time, is it not the creation of your mind? How long do you intend to stay here to get established in the knowledge? As long as it feels relevant. In that case, is the knowledge real or is it a cheat? A cheat with a smile. If you tap on the cheek of a small baby, it will smile at you and you will smile back. The smile of the child and your emanation are the same. So is the smile of the child going to die? The quality of beingness, like the smile of the child, comes and goes. The one who understands this is beyond birth and death. In the Hindu tradition, it is said that in your old age, you must become a renunciate, sannyasi. 2 months ago, the Italian ambassador came here with 4 elderly gentlemen who had the intention of becoming renunciates. After listening to this talk, they gave up their idea of renunciation. Normally, the renunciation, sannyas, is concerned with 6 aspects, the 5 elements and the knowledge I am. But when you understand all of this, what is the point in renouncing these 6 qualities? When all of this knowledge is imbibed by you and settled in you, there will be no more desires and you will not be attached. You will be beyond desire and no desire. You will be unconcerned. As an example, seeing you walking on the road, a taxi driver offers to take you to your destination. He takes you round and finally brings you home, charging you an exorbitant fare. You come out of the house in the evening and realize that you had picked the taxi up very near to where you wanted to go in the first place. The taxi driver brought you home in a very roundabout way. Other guides or gurus like Rajneesh are like this. They show you a long and difficult path to achieve Brahman, or self-realization. Although we are attached to the whole world and are moving about in it, the root of our attachment is self-love, knowledge of one's existence. I like your teaching as it is the truth, so where is Rajneesh's moral sense and responsibility as a teacher? It is all fun. He knows it is not real, and he wants to have all the fun. That is his idea and his concept, and he also wants to create a peace clan. If he is enlightened, how can he create that illusion? It is all fun. All of the disciples are ignorant, so he has fun with them or makes fun of them. I did a lot of japa and a lot of penance, but I got nothing. I eventually found the right guru, and in a moment, I was transformed. When I met that great guru, Sadguru, unfragmented, whole, unblemished, and complete, I became that. Have self-confidence or faith. If this knowledge is totally absorbed by you, you will not need any words or sacred recitation to achieve the ultimate.